The Enneagram separates individuals into 9 types. In short, it's a personality system that describes 9 core types of human motivation, behavior, and emotional patterns. Each type represents a distinct worldview instead of core fears and desires. As I explain the strengths and weaknesses, I'll use the 27 subtypes. The 27 subtypes are derived from the 9 core types, which are then separated by the 3 instinctual variants: the self-preservation, social, and sexual. If you are new and confused, I have brief explanations of each type in my shorts. As this series goes on, I'll begin with the 9 heart triad subtypes, head triad, and then finally gut triad. I'll begin by saying I don't intend to offend anyone with these statements, but in saying that, if that's the case, I'm afraid we may have deeper issues to uncover. However, if you disagree with anything I'm saying, I'm simply pulling from the Enneagram books and interpreting any strengths and weaknesses of that type. Let me know in the comments if you think there's anything I should have added, or tell me if you have any suggestions for your own personal strengths and weaknesses unique to your subtype. The Enneagram 2 houses a certain level of social expertise, but what sets the self-preservation 2 apart is their warmth. This type has the natural ability to disarm others through innocence and tenderness.
Howdy, Rumi.
This is Enid Sinclair.
Are you feeling okay? You look a little pale. Oh. Welcome to Ophelia Hall. Not a hugger.
They're able to gauge the emotional needs and expectations of others and provide for them on that level. Conservation 2 specializes in creating a warm atmosphere. They make others feel welcome and important. This generosity makes them difficult to say no to, and in turn, it isn't often that they go without having their needs met. The youthful image of this subtype allows them to get away with doing minimal work, as their strategy involves having others take care of them. They are able to cruise through life while avoiding excessive strain or effort. Their charm assists in gaining the favor of others through purely existing. Inversely, this type's love need combined with their emotional fragility makes them hypersensitive to criticism and disapproval. Because of their entitlement, they rely on the expectations of special treatment. If these expectations aren't met, they may have tantrums, sulk, or withdrawal. As a result of these strategies and responses, they may be limited or reduced to this childish image.
Jackie, up and at him or something.
I'm so cold. I have cramps.
Oh, shit. We literally all have cramps. Our periods have synced up. Come on.
As others draw closer and observe this behavior, they may dismiss them and avoid delegating important tasks and responsibility because of the Conservation 2's perceived incompetence and immaturity. The Social 2 is among the best leaders of the entire Enneagram. Being a social subtype, they are attuned to structures and hierarchies. They are social climbers. This means they are adept at navigating social settings and networking. As stereotypes suggest, they make great manipulators. This type's tendency to place themselves at the top, coupled with their charm, makes them especially influential and persuasive.
Put Piltover on the map. What of today's trial?
His name is Jace of House Talus.
A house? Remind me.
I believe they came to renown for their design of the collapsible pocket wrench.
But Heimerdinger favors him?
As far as I can tell.
This one.
Their main mode of influence is emotional. Like other E2s, they are attuned to others' emotional wants and needs. But what sets the Social 2 apart is their intellectualism. Their seduction is based in emotion, but is especially calculating. They are equally capable of taking an authoritative stance as well as an impersonal one. The Social 2 also demands the respect of others and is often successful in this goal. Their fixation on leadership often leads to a development of a savior complex. Social 2s mold themselves into the role of a caretaker. They do tasks and favors for others with the expectation of gratitude and approval. However, when these efforts go unnoticed, they grow resentful. Because of their entitlement, they believe they are entitled to everyone's adoration. At their unhealthiest, they meddle when their assistance isn't needed. This can come across obtrusive to others.
You were right. She wasn't ready to leave the hospital. She experienced a bit of anxiety, so I gave her a sedative.
Sedative? What did you give her?
I only gave her half a Valium, but she may be a little hazy.
What I've observed in the subtype is that their insistence to take an authoritative role alienates them from their peers. Their emphasis on power can come in between the formation of deep connections. Superficial friendships are formed in turn. The passion of pride combined with a sexual instinct will result in a character with unwavering loyalty. Similar to the Enneagram 8, the sexual 2 protects and supports their allies until the very end. Their value of close relationships leads them to be greatly affectionate. They make others feel special and important. This subtype is also vehement in getting their needs met. While the other E2 subtypes rely on subtle methods of manipulation, the sexual 2 relies on their seductive personality. They're less ashamed of having needs.
Amazing. For an 80-year-old woman, you'd be surprised.
You are trouble.
Trouble is my middle name.
Oh, you're hot.
Why, thank you. So are you. And I'm not afraid to cry.
No, I mean you feel a little feverish.
Well, I've never felt better in my life. My God, you smell good. Listen, when do you get off work?
4, but
Tell you what, you meet me at 4:01 at the top of the mountain. I'll give you a minute to freshen up. This is yours. Oh, that's mine. Mercy's.
This direct strategy is what I find to be comparatively courageous. Their lack of shame in these kinds of situations results in a certain boldness and a comfortability asserting their desires. In our progressively sexualized society that seems to value attractiveness above all else, the sexual 2 indeed has a leg up compared to the other 26 subtypes. Their entire identity is centered around getting love, favors, and other gifts through desirability. This subtype is especially prone to histrionicism. They struggle with emotional regulation as a response to rejection. This wild and intense form of expression can cause people to view them as overwhelming.
Oh, it's about being cut out of their share of the loot! Ooh, I want to rip off that smug face of his and shove it into this locker! Ooh, and then I'll kick it and kick it and kick it!
Cut that out. Behave yourself.
They are frequently seen as draining to those around them because of their overbearing nature. This subtype is known to be sexually provocative. This brings forth 2 separate drawbacks. In certain settings where sexuality is strictly prohibited, this type may grow bored and lack leverage in getting their needs met. And secondly, among certain groups, the sexual 2 may gain a negative reputation for their sexual conquests. Though mainly a concern for women with this fixation, they may be seen as undignified because of their need for validation in romantic partners. And as a result, people may undermine their intelligence and competence. They may appear shamelessly promiscuous, therefore losing the respect of individuals with Puritanist values. The self-preservation 3 excels in industrial and professional settings. In a workplace, this subtype's efficiency aids them in the success of their chosen career. They are hard-working, task-oriented individuals. They strive to be the ideal model of quality in whatever they do. Because of these traits, they are seen as dependable. They are solid people who you'd come for advice. Their outward composure and sense of order makes them excellent role models. They stray away from drama and attention-seeking, and as a result, they're seen as grounded and reliable. Because of the Conservation 3's fixation on security, they are responsible and dutiful. While this emphasis may stem from underlying anxiety, they are excellent organizers, problem solvers, and decision makers, thus often allowing them to make the best executive courses of action.
Let's see. Complete the following sentences as accurately as you can. 1. A sound soul. Easy. Dwells within a sound. Okay.
This subtype's dedication to work may interfere or come in between their interpersonal relationships. They may feel little to no need to nurture their relationships, instead feeding themselves to productivity.
Lynette was in the middle of her own personal nightmare. Determined her boys would not miss their fairy tale debut, Lynette had stayed up 18 hours straight sewing. But she began to fear her story would not have a happy ending.
Time is spent maintaining a professional image. In turn, they neglect the more important emotional aspects of their life. Here, the conservation instinct presents itself as a need for validation for their actions rather than their charm or personality. At their unhealthiest, this attitude makes the Conservation 3 a shell. They are constantly doing and achieving to adapt to a perfect model that they forget their own feelings. Similar to the Social 2, the Social 3 is socially brilliant and is proficient in leadership, but what sets them apart is their chameleon-like ability to adapt to any social situation. They don't just fit in, they charm and climb social ladders. I truly believe the Social 3 has almost never felt out of place. This subtype molds themselves to fit the group's expectations, and because of this, they are adept at gaining applause and social validation.
What's the theme of the summer talent show, Sharpay?
Redemption. Love it. It's a very trying year, ladies. My drama department was invaded by outsiders.
Singers coming from the chemistry lab and the locker room. Shocking, really.
They adapt to any situation. They know how to dress, how to eat, and how when and when not to speak. Because of their hyper-awareness of group expectations, they make excellent entertainers. People are drawn to this type's energy and charisma. A downside of the social three's ambition is their jealousy.
Why do you race?
Money, fame, and free clothes.
Oh my God, with the phone. Put the thing down, will ya? What do you care what they say?
Easy for you to say, they all love you.
It's just noise, man.
Their need for social validation combined with their competitiveness makes them ruthless, often resorting to morally dubious strategies in the pursuit of their goals. At their worst, they will lie and cheat to further their agendas. The foundation of the Enneagram 3 is built on external validation, but the social 3 relies on the validation of society in particular. This need to appear great can become obsessive. This reliance on the approval of others is unhealthy. When met with criticism and judgment, they may grow vengeful and reactive. The sexual subtype of the Enneagram 3 is tender and sweet, actively carrying a nurturing disposition. They're super attentive to what the other wants. They like to give and please and create a safe environment for others. This subtype is extremely perceptive to the wants and desires of their partners. This makes them great lovers. If I were to compare this type's caregiving with the sexual and self-preservation 2, I would outline the two subtypes' inherent entitlement. They offer care with the expectation of love or having their needs met in return. However, the sexual 3 cares for their partner with no expectations of love necessarily. They seek to have their image of the model partner confirmed. This comparison highlights the selflessness of this type. They appear to please others for the sake of pleasing others.
The girls and I really bonded in prison, and after a few chief walking lessons, they said I could join their group. We're gonna be best friends forever.
Sexual 3's need to be the perfect lover makes them susceptible to fears of rejection. It is the most insecure of the 3 subtypes. These attachment issues are similar to the sexual 2's, but the difference is the emotional response brought about by breakups. Yes, the sexual 2 may doubt their desirability, but because of their pride and entitlement, they walk away believing it was the other party's loss. However, in their most vulnerable state, the sexual 3 goes about doubting their presentation and appearance. Because their appearance is the way in which they seek love, when love isn't received, they may spiral into self-doubt. They reshape and manipulate their image to remain desirable. They're driven by a need to feel irresistible and are willing to fabricate whatever is necessary to maintain it. In this process, they lose themselves to the expectations of others who may not even return their devotion.
Don't tell me.
No, I'm not gonna tell you because you'll tell Nate. I don't fucking trust you.
No one does!
Yeah, because you fell in love with someone who spent years making fun of you. It's sad.
As the title Tenacity suggests, Self-Preservation 4 has an optimistic and persistent spirit. They believe something is fundamentally lacking in their life, so through hard work, they push themselves through hardship to achieve their goals. The conservation instinct directs their pain inward. This causes them to be stoic and in turn resilient.
Driving to right now. The only one left. And when I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
When met with adversity, the SP4 doesn't shrink themselves or erupt like other types. They carry on and endure without complaining. They have the power to transform their pain into constructive action. Pain is often used as a lesson and a way to improve themselves. What can I do to change things in the future? Giving up or throwing in the towel isn't an option, as this subtype does not shy away from challenges. The pain turned against oneself leads them to conserve their own suffering, to believe that they can endure and handle much more. Self-Preservation 4 has difficulty accepting limits. Their dreams of an idealized future combined with their over-endurance leads them towards dissatisfaction. They set impossible standards and tear themselves down when they don't meet these goals.
Hey, what are you doing?
This is my fault. They were looking for answers about me.
You are not responsible for their choices, Elsa.
No, just their deaths.
The need to protect their dream of the future can lead to discontent in their current position. This manifests here as wanting the security and material gratifications others seem to possess, and recklessly striking out to get them. For instance, they may buy themselves all sorts of things they feel like they can't live without, and end up sliding deeply into debt. Or they may abandon a steady job to chase another risky but promising opportunity. Social 4 specialize in their introspection and empathy. This subtype feels their emotions deeply. They are not prone to emotional suppression, escapism, or avoidance. This rawness, coupled with their imagination, allows them to channel their experiences into creative efforts. Whether through art, poetry, or music, they are able to channel powerful emotions into something beautiful. The social 4 has a great ability to put themselves into others' pain. This attitude is supported by their sensitivity and emotionality.
Have you seen what it's like out there, Murray? Do you ever actually leave the studio? Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy.
They know how it feels to suffer, and in understanding this, they deploy altruism and put themselves at the service of others. This subtype feels distress for not living up to social ideals. They compare themselves to others around them and find themselves lacking. This constant feeling of shame manifests as an attachment to suffering. Often the subtype is shy and ends up resenting and blaming themselves. To contrast them with the self-preservation 4, the social 4 has difficulty enduring. The thick skin of the self-preservation 4 is instead thin in the social subtype. The slightest criticism, rejection, or negative experience can annihilate them. They are the most sad and sensitive 4.
But I'd never been so happy as that moment. As I held hands with death.
They internalize their suffering, dramatize it, and play the victim. They want validation for their suffering, so this victim complex traps them in a cycle of pain that they actively ignore and allow to get worse. They thrive in the disposition of misery and are complacent in solving their issues. The sexual 4 is a brave and bold character. What is highlighted in this subtype is their unyielding authenticity. Opinions are not held and feelings are not suppressed. They are the kind of people who'd rather be hated for who they are than loved for someone they are not. They are unapologetic in expressing themselves and project an air of fearlessness and courage. Sexual 4s are not afraid of originality and often enjoy feeling different. They love to be special, unique, and original. They can speak and dress without conforming and are comfortable going against the grain. Their desire to be peculiar is admirable. They are perceived as fearless because of their refusal to comply with trivial social norms.
Like us. Mutant and proud.
Envy is expressed most directly in this subtype. Jealousy exists with great intensity and is used as a primary motivator. They constantly compare themselves to others and compete with them to compensate for deep feelings of inferiority. This subtype carries an arrogant attitude and may seek to hurt or punish others as a form of overcompensation.
Read the school website. When a student tries out for a sports team for which there is no coach, the team captain shall decide if the student is granted or denied acceptance to the team.
Captain says, denied.
But you can't just... Read the phone, Tori. Read the phone.
The sexual 4 doesn't simply compete with others by focusing on bettering themselves. Their envy drives them to cut others down. This envious aggression often comes in the form of verbal attacks meant to humiliate or bring down others. Their suffering is directed towards people whom they believe to have what they lack. They want others to suffer as they have.